Forest said this is the key matchup tonight, how they match up against Armando Bacot and ACC preseason player of the year, Garrison Brooks. They must do a good job keeping them under wraps, and particular near the basket.
Carolina in white, Wake Forest in black. Our officials tonight, Mike Roberts, Mike Stevens, and Clarence Armstrong, as we are underway in Chapel Hill. It'll be the Tar Heels that start with possession. Take a look at North Carolina's starting five. Roy Williams' team has started 3-3 in 6 ACC games to start the season. Funny enough, all 6 of those results have been decided by 7 points or less, so not good for Tar Heel fans' blood pressure. And Wake Forest starting 5. They get it to Ismail Massoud, who misses. What's the key for Carolina tonight, Malcolm?
Well, they must get the ball down low in the post. We talked about it right off the tip. That's where they're going to have the advantage. On the other side, Wake Forest, they must defensive rebound. Steve Forbes is concerned about North Carolina's bigs and their size on the offensive glass. First 2 possessions, they did a nice job blocking out.
And Wake goes to the post. Going to be a big night for the sophomore Odio Guama. He's really the lone ACC caliber big that Wake has on their roster. Meanwhile, North Carolina rotates 4 of them. One of them, Armando Bacot, great post move to open the scoring.
Well, you can see the strategy. When we spoke with Coach Roy Williams yesterday, he said, look, we must utilize our bigs. Yes, we made some threes against Florida State, but tonight we're going to have advantage down low in the post. Wake Forest is going to have to make a decision. They might have to start doubling early on any post-entry pass.
Five seconds to shoot. Jonah Antonio's in trouble. He's going to have to heave it. No, decides to pass it off. Kerwin Walton comes up with the ball, and that's a shot clock violation. Great defense and a lot of energy from this Tar Heels team early.
Yeah, and if you're Roy Williams, you're definitely excited about the energy, and that's going to be another key theme. We asked him about that as well, too, the energy. But this right here is great post position. Now, if you're Wake, again, you cannot allow him to catch the ball with 1 foot inside the paint. You got to try to do a better job working position before they get a post-entry pass.
Right back to the post. Bacot muscles his way in, but misses the finish. Antonio triggers a 3 and hits it. Jonah Antonio, the sharpshooter from Australia, knocks down the triple.
Steve Forbes said that is going to be our formula for getting a road win. We must hit some shots from beyond the arc.
Every single possession, North Carolina has gone into the post, and right now Steve Forbes' team has handled it relatively well. First-year head coach for Wake Forest. He joked with us yesterday on our coaches call. He doesn't recommend trying to build a program during a pandemic, and yet that's exactly what he's doing at Wake Forest.
Not ideal. He said, look, I had all this great plans going into it. He lives right across the street from the arena at Wake Forest, and he said, look, I haven't been able to have the team over because of the pandemic. And you look at this timeline right here, and that's certainly not ideal for the first-year coach.
It's one thing to try and start a build a program during a pandemic, but then when you get a month really COVID block that really shut down this program, they couldn't even practice. It really took them out of their rhythm, and they've had to respond, get thrown right into ACC play. They've lost 5 straight games, but playing well early on the road at Chapel Hill, a place they have not won in 11 years. Here's Garrison Brooks, double teamed, fouled, and he'll head to the line for 2.
Jay, this guy at the line is the one that I think really for North Carolina, if you're looking for a leader, a guy to step up and really carry some of the young players, I think this is the guy. Preseason player of the year in the ACC by many. And again, he is one of those guys that, again, he's going to draw a lot of attention tonight. I think how he passes out of the double team tonight is going to have a huge impact on this game.
Entry pass into Mucius, and Leaky Black fouled him. The curious case of Leaky Black now in his junior year. He was scoreless last time out on the road against Florida State. His lack of consistency on the offensive end has plagued him for sure. Antonio left that one short. North Carolina is looking to run. Kerwin Walton, the sharpshooter. That one off the mark. Offensive rebound by Brooks keeps the possession alive. Walton triggers another. Can't hit that one either.
Well, you can't ask for two better looks. The first one in transition. Again, wide open threes. Great job on the offensive glass. And again, he gets another really wide open look and just unable to get it to go.
A contested look there. Off the mark. Love in transition, and the travel's called. Just getting started on the ACC network. Tied at 5 in Chapel Hill.
And obviously not ideal, not a lot of time with these guys, really a lot of disruption. They went almost over a month without playing, so again, it's going to take some time, but you know, certainly a lot of people are excited about the direction that he can potentially take Wake Forest basketball in.
Now, Forbes last year for East Tennessee State won 30 games, only lost 4. So early in his Wake Forest tenure, 3-5. He's already lost more games here than he had to lose a year ago. When we spoke to him about that, he goes, I'm a winner. I hate to lose. I want to compete. The good news is he feels like his team has only gotten better and better. You look at their result against Virginia Tech over the weekend. They battled and could have beaten a top 25 team.
Yeah, and obviously both these coaches really have the same sentiments. Roy Williams, obviously a very young backcourt, and he talked, we talked about, just the progression of these guys, and I think really what's hurt them early on is the lack of any preseason and any time with them leading up to the actual season. So, both programs, and obviously all these programs dealing with that right now, but obviously Roy Williams, a Hall of Famer, he's been here before, and I expect this backcourt, young backcourt, to just continue to get better as this season progresses.
Great point, Malcolm. Roy Williams certainly spoke to us about the struggles that he's faced with this young backcourt, but he said every program has had challenges this season, but if you had to say the team that's faced the most, he actually said this week it's Steve Forbes and Wake Forest. Again, with that month shut down due to a COVID outbreak, you come back, play one game against a Division II program, and then boom, ACC play. Locked on a 3, falls to Walton, who pushes it. Great defense. Daivien Williamson got back to deny any room to run for Andrew Platek. Williamson dishes off inside, easy layup, and Wake Forest has grabbed the lead.
And that's all set up by Williamson. Started off with the steal and then draw the defense and get into the lane. This is just a great individual play by Williamson. It started on the defensive end right here. Carolina running their patented break. Williamson heads up play, and then he's off to the races. And right here, pick and roll D. Help is not there. Draw the defender, and you can't do it any better. Unselfish play.
And that's Emmanuel Okpomo with the finish. Expect to see him, the freshman at 6'10". He'll give Odi Oguama a breather. Right now working on Brooks defensively. ACC preseason player of the year missed it, and a jump ball underneath.
That time Sharp, Day'Ron Sharp almost came up with a offensive rebound, and again back to the keys to the game for Wake. You know, that's going to be the stat line we're going to watch throughout this one, how they're able to defensive rebound, and in particular against a guy like Sharp, who's very aggressive on both ends, in particular on the offensive glass.
Lasoud lines up at 3, off the mark. North Carolina's gone 2 minutes and 40 seconds without points. Kerwin Walton, hesitation, drives in. Brooks misses the follow, tip in. And there's a lid on the rim right now for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, they've missed some opportunities early. Bacot and Brooks with some tip ends, and then also they've had some pretty good looks where they've had 2 feet inside the paint.
5 straight misses for North Carolina. Wake trying to capitalize. Here's Carter Witt in trouble. Double team. Plate Tech can run the other way with it. Inside to Brooks. Hook shot no good. Day'Ron Sharp offensive board cashes in for 2.
I just love his motor and energy. Right now, Jay, he leads North Carolina with 46 coming into this game. Make that 47 offensive rebounds after that one right there.
Wake Forest, an instant response. The Demon Deacons playing with some confidence through Daivien Williamson. Ribs out for Play Tech. Here's Williamson again, pushing the tempo. 1 on 3, and the ball ripped out of his hands, although it'll stay Wake's way.
And this right here, again, pick and roll D. That's poor communication by North Carolina bigs. You have to be communicating which way you want them to go, and then again, getting out and transition. But you know, certainly if you're North Carolina, you have to do a better job communicating on pick and rolls, in particular the bigs of North Carolina.
An errant pass has North Carolina's bench outraged. The officials say someone got a piece of the ball. Roy Williams disagrees.
And the one thing with no fans, you can hear all the communication between the coaches and refs, players and players. So, you know, certainly another interesting storyline.
Here's Carter Witt with the ball right now. About a month ago, he was gearing up for a high school basketball season, graduated early, thrown right into the ACC. 3 on 2 for the Tar Heels. R.J. Davis fouled on his way to the rim.
Now, I did not see this in the scouting report for Day'Ron Sharp. Getting a steal and then leading the break with a beautiful bounce pass. That is excellent touch and also court awareness by Day'Ron Sharp. And you know, again, you talk with the coaching staff of North Carolina. They're really high on this young man. Obviously physically ready to come in and play as a freshman. Love his energy on the offensive glass. But that right there is not something you typically see from a 6'11" freshman.
It's a super talented freshman class. R.J. Davis just made 2 at the line. He's coming off being named ACC Freshman of the Week. He had a team-high 16 in the loss to Florida State. No doubting the talent from this freshman class. Roy Williams just said we need them to play more consistently, particularly in the backcourt. Caleb Love, R.J. Davis, Kerwin Walton.
And you look at R.J. Davis's numbers. That's a pretty good stat line right there. Obviously very efficient. I think that 44% number really is huge for North Carolina. That game against Florida State, they had a season high 10 3-pointers made. So certainly that's a good sign to try to loosen up any defense that wants to double down on the bigs.
Looking inside to another freshman, Walker Kessler, and it's over the big man's head. Tied at 9, slow going between Wake and Carolina. In December of 2019, obviously talking about Anthony Harris after he tore his ACL for a second time, and Roy obviously very emotional about the injury there, and to a certain degree Malcolm, he still is. At our coach's call yesterday, he told us that despite Harris getting fully cleared by the trainer, he's being very cautious in Harris's minutes because he doesn't want to have a situation where he's looking down at Harris injured again, seeing the pain on that young man's face who's had to battle back from 2 different ACL injuries.
And he said to us, Jay, the first time in his 33 years here at North Carolina, he said, look, the first time I've ever walked down to the end of a bench and talked with a trainer and asked him, is it okay? Are you sure that this young man is okay to go into the game? And, you know, again, he said, look, every time he's out on the court, I am just anxious because he knows the work that this young man has put in to get back onto the court. So he said, look, anybody who thinks he's just going to ramp up to 20, 30 minutes a game is crazy. It's not going to happen. We are going to be very cautious with his usage.
Harris in the game right now. They go to Day'Ron Sharp. Off the mark, Carter Witt battling Harris for the ball. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow with the Tar Heels. And if you're a North Carolina fan, you see what Anthony Harris brought to this team against Florida State in his debut back. A team-high 3 assists, took 2 shots, made both of them. He only played 8 minutes. You're thinking, man, I want this guy on the court for 30 minutes, but Roy Williams just easing the fan base, saying we need to be cautious. We can't just throw him right in.
Well, they're a different team with him out on the court healthy. I mean, he was a plus 10 in those short minutes, and, you know, 3 assists to go along with it. So, again, I think he just makes it easier for the other guys, in particular, though, of the energy that he brings to this team. Certainly, they want to see him healthy.
Right to the rack, and Wake Forest has opened up a 4-point lead. Kessler steps back. He misses. North Carolina shooting under 20%, 3 of 16 from the floor.
Well, Mucius will not get credit for this, but the blockout that he did on Day'Ron Sharp, making sure he does not get an offensive rebound, is huge. I've been impressed with how they blocked out and now stepping out and hitting the 3. It's been execution early on by Wake. Dribble drives, getting to the lane, but then the defensive rebounding and technique really has been impressive.
It's a 7-0 Wake Forest run. Carolina's missed 10 of their last 11. Here's Harris trying to provide a spark. 5 seconds to shoot. R.J. Davis has to hurry. Pull up pop. He hits it. R.J. Davis delivers a much-needed bucket.
Well, sometimes better offense beats pretty good D. Not a bad defensive possession by Wake, but sometimes you just need a guy to go get you a bucket. Shot clock winding down, and that's a big-time pull-up by Davis, who has been balling as of late for North Carolina.
Next Tuesday, this Tar Heels team travels to a red-hot Pittsburgh. 7 Eastern's tip-off right here on the ACC network. Justin Champagnie and the Panthers have been terrific. They beat Coach K at Duke last night. That'll be a great matchup next Tuesday. Daivien Williamson, 4 points, 3 assists. Cross-court pass there. Jalen Johnson heaves the 3 at the end of the shot clock. Here's Garrison Brooks. Double team comes in, he fights through it and puts it in for 2.
Well, better resistance. That's just a guy really imposing his will right there. Again, not bad D. That's just a tough shot in the lane by the preseason player of the year.
Daivien Williamson is heating up in this first half. 6 points, 3 assists. He's been the go-to guy for Wake Forest.
Well, it's simple, Jay. Right now, North Carolina's doing a couple of things. One, they're running and jumping at times. But then, 2, the bigger problem is ball screen coverage really has been poor. And Wake Forest has gotten into the lane.
Johnson can't connect. Sharp tried to keep it alive, but his foot was on the end line, so it'll stay Wake's ball.
And this has been the problem right here. Again, the help is late, and then nice little block out that time. But again, that has been a problem area early on in this game, and particularly with Williamson. He has gotten into the lane with ease.
Williamson played for Steve Forbes at East Tennessee State a year ago, was part of that 30-win team. Aaron inbound pass. Caleb Love trying to capitalize, probably forced that shot on a 1-on-2 situation.
And when we asked Roy Williams how he would assess his young backcourt, he said, look, I got a lot of gray hairs on my head, and plays like that, I think, really, again, decision-making. He said, look, it needs to get better. They're talented, but they need to be better with their decision-making.
Brooks left wide open for a 3. Those are the shots that need to start the fall for Carolina. And it's not just tonight. It's been like that all season long. Even going back to last season, they've struggled to shoot the ball from outside. The guard play has been inconsistent. And that's two characteristics that you can typically count on in a Carolina basketball team. Brooks from the same spot, just 2 feet in, and this one rolls in from dead on. Carolina cuts it to 3.
Go, White.
Carter Witt called for a travel. Wake Forest leading 7 to play in this first half.
Right now by North Carolina, really, the bigs have got to do a better job cutting the ball down. Again, they're not really hedging, and then they're allowing Williamson to get into the paint. There needs to be better communication, and the bigs need to do a better job hedging on ball screens so that way they can give the guards a chance to get over and get back in front.
Williamson's got 6 points himself. He's assisted on 3 others. So out of Wake's 7 field goals, he's helped on 6 of them. He is everything to Steve Forbes' team.
And Jay, he's getting some good looks early. Again, that's 2 feet in the paint again, just unable to finish on the jump hook.
Another travel called against the young freshman Carter Witt.
And that's just weight room right there. When we asked Steve Forbes about his progression, Carter Witt, look, he's talented. He was a top 60 recruit, a big-time get for them. But certainly, again, him without having any preseason leading up, he's certainly talented, but he's going to have to get a little bit stronger, spend some time in the weight room. But certainly the staff, along with Steve Forbes, really high on him.
Kerwin Walton left open, and he makes Wake Forest pay from 3. Walton shooting 44% from 3. He's been the bright spot, particularly shooting on a team that struggled to do it consistently. Garrison Brooks steals that one away. Caleb Love, pull up pop, and he hits it. First Carolina leads it to his 4-3. And the freshman guard starting to play well, back-to-back buckets from that young backcourt.
Well, they're going to continue to get better under Roy Williams, one of the best in the business in terms of developing guys. And you can see Love has all the tools to be one of those other great North Carolina guards to come out of here. Certainly, though, that starts with his pull-up game. He's got one of the best.
Daivien Williamson ends a 7-0 Carolina run. We remind you, tomorrow night, women's basketball doubleheader right here on the ACC network. First, it's Miami and Pittsburgh at 6 Eastern, and then Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, the nightcap of the doubleheader at 8. Both games right here on the ACC network. Tied at 25-20 to play. Wake Forest looking for their first win in Chapel Hill in 11 years. Brooks fouled. He'll head to the line for 2. Malcolm, early on, we saw Carolina pound the post. They kind of backed away from that strategy, but now going back to it.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to the maturity and obviously part of the process for these guards and this team understanding where you have the advantage. Yes, in that Florida State game, you hit a season-high 10 threes, but Roy Williams made it very clear coming into this game. Our advantage is going to be with our bigs. We want to play through Garrison Brooks, Bacot, Day'Ron Sharpe when they get in there, and then obviously always in their transition game, they want to get out, make or miss.
No field goals for the Demon Deacons in the last 4 minutes. It's allowed North Carolina to grab a lead. Kerwin Walton rattles in and out. Showed off some fancy handles, but couldn't get the shot to drop.
And Wake continuing to do a nice job on the defensive glass, limiting North Carolina to 1 shot, and then they're cleaning up that defensive glass.
That rattles in and out. A lid on the rim for both teams right now. Great defense to deny Brooks in the post. Both teams struggling to shoot from the floor. And Wake's hanging around. 4 minutes until halftime. Carolina back in front, 21-20. Sloppy one so far at Chapel Hill. You look at the stats, 17 combined turnovers, only 15 combined made field goals. Malcolm, that's just the kind of game it's been for these two teams.
And a big reason why Roy Williams said we're a work in progress. Coming into this game, Jay, North Carolina had 186 assists to 200 turnovers. That's not the number you want, and it obviously starts with their guard play. They have to do a better job making decisions, and then the bigs have to do a better job finishing some of those opportunities they've had in the paint.
Isaiah Mucius drills a 3 out of the timeout to take the lead back for Wake. Their first field goal in nearly 5 minutes of play. To go 5 minutes without making a basket and have a lead in the Dean Dome against North Carolina, that's pretty good defense. Caleb Love triggers a 3, and he hits it. The freshman Caleb Love answers with a 3 of his own.
Well, he continues to shoot the ball well. In that last game against Florida State, he was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. And that time, Wake Forest decides to go under the screen, and he ducks behind and makes them pay. Again, when he's not turning the ball over, obviously you can see the talent is there. I think the big thing for all 3 of these guys right here on the screen, we know they can score. I think it's the decision making and then getting guys set when they get into the half court.
Offensive foul is the call underneath. It'll be Wake basketball.
Yeah, Mucius has done a nice job, not only obviously here taking a charge. Again, hard to tell from that angle, but Brooks did look like he lowered his shoulder. But I think defensive rebounding was such a concern coming into this one. You know, all 5 guys have done a nice job chipping down and also helping out with the blockout duties to keep the bigs of North Carolina off the offensive glass.
Mucius lines up another 3. Can't connect on that one. There's a foul on the rebound, though. Gives us time to remind you, Friday we have the reigning ACC wrestling champs, North Carolina State Wolfpack. They're ranked number 4 again this week, and they're taking on Pittsburgh. Friday night duels right here on the ACC network, 6 o'clock start. Wake in the bonus, and Odi Oguama knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1 to tie it at 24. Oklahoma a perfect 4 for 4 at the line to give Wake back the lead.
And right now, Jay, interesting lineup. North Carolina has 3 bigs out on the court. So let's see if they continue that strategy, trying to go down low.
They do, and Oklahoma read it the whole way, trying to get the entry pass into Bacot, and the sophomore swiped it.
Again, right idea. You got to see, though, and make the read. See that guy coming over before you even pass the ball. Swing it to the other side, and then see if you can repost him.
Right back to Bacot. Turns around, hook shot falls. Carolina back in front.
And that's excellent patience and move by Bacot. I felt he rushed a few earlier when he had opportunities. That's a beautiful spin move, soft touch with the little baby jump hook.
Williamson inside of Guama, misses it. Masood keeps it alive. He's in a double team. Extra pass finds Williamson for 3, and he knocks it down. Daivien Williamson up to 11 points. Leads all scorers and Wake's up by 2. Back the other way, wave off the basket for an offensive foul.
Well, this is just unselfish right here. You called it, Jay. Extra pass, draw the D, and that's just all set up by the second chance opportunity. Those 50-50 balls early on. Wake Forest is getting a lot of those. But that last possession right there, excellent ball movement and unselfish play.
Great block by Love, falls right to him. Here's the freshman. Kick out, Walton. Pull up pop, hits it, tied at 28.
That's the read that you want if you're Roy Williams from Love. Great defense, get out in transition, don't force a shot, kick it out, and then you play from there. Excellent transition offense by North Carolina.
Mucius taking advantage of play tech. Isaiah Mucius puts Wake Forest back in front with a minute left until halftime. Brooks trying to answer. For a Carolina team that has been so dominant with offensive rebounds, they average 16 per game. They lead the country in it. They have only managed 5 in this first half. They're actually getting out-rebounded. Williamson step back 3. It's good! Daivien Williamson is on fire in this first half. I'm sure we'll talk about that coming up at the State Farm Halftime Report. Plus, you'll hear from Packer at Durham. Wake Forest is fired up. Take a listen to that bench. And Caleb Love will shut the bench right up right before halftime. Silences the Demon Deacons on a 3. 9 lead changes, 7 ties, but it's Wake Forest who has come into Chapel Hill. And Daivien Williamson has given the Demon Deacons a 2-point halftime lead. This halftime report is presented by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. He changes in that first half. Wake Forest a 2-point lead, 33-31. Malcolm, how did we get here?
Well, I think Daivien Williamson was outstanding in the first half for Wake Forest. Ball screen defense needs to tighten up for North Carolina. And then the rebounding, Jay, you look at that coming into this one. Wake right now out-rebounding North Carolina a +3, and that was such a huge key coming into this one for Steve Forbes.
And so far for Carolina fans, this game is following a familiar script, and it usually ends with high blood pressure and no nails left to bite. 6 straight ACC games for Carolina have been decided by 7 points or less. That's only the 2nd time in program history that has happened. And in those 6 games to start conference play, 3 wins and 3 losses.
Well, Roy Williams simply said, you know, I've added a lot more gray hairs to my head dealing with everything we've had to deal with. And obviously with this young backcourt, certainly that's something Roy wants to see, the progression, see how they close out games. And obviously it's going to come down to decision making by the young backcourt.
That young backcourt, in times of that first half, played terrific. At times, played like freshmen. And Roy Williams just looking for them to grow up, be more consistent, get better. He says they know they need it. Our fans know we need it. Roy Williams especially knows they need it. But until they get to that point, you're going to have stretches like we've seen so far in this game and throughout ACC play, where sometimes they look great and you end up winning those close games, and sometimes they can't make the play to win a game and you end up losing. And that's why appropriately they're 3-3 through 6 games.
Yeah, and I think early on too, Jay, we've talked about this. Brooks, again, another quality look. That time the pull-up jumper, he's had some looks too where he's had 2 feet inside the paint. Him and Bacot, they've just been unable to convert on some of those post looks that they've had.
Offensive rebound for Wake Forest. That's been another key factor. Carolina, the most offensive rebounds for any team in the country, and yet it's Wake who's dominated the glass so far tonight. Antonio splits defenders. Another offensive rebound. Shot clock did not reset. The bench is calling for it to. Mucius heaves it up. They can't connect. Easy lay-in for Kerwin Walton. Ties it at 33. Walton up to 7 points in a super talented freshman class. Walton was the lowest ranked, least talked about, but you could make the argument, Malcolm, that he's actually been the most consistent in the backcourt between Love, Davis, and Walton.
Yeah, he came into this game, leading the team with 23s made, and that's an excellent read. Again, all about the decision making, coming off a screen. Help was not there. Don't settle for a pull-up jumper. Continue to get to the basket. And you're right, Jay. He has been playing really well for North Carolina.
Williamson weaving through that Carolina defense. Didn't get a great look at the basket, though. Mucius blocks Love underneath as the freshman tried to take it coast to coast.
And this right here, again, decision making, it's really a 1-on-2, 1-on-3. You like the aggression, but that's not a good read. Again, you want to pull it out if you don't have the advantage and then try to get your team into your secondary break.
Mucius picked the pocket of Leaky Black, throws it up ahead. Aguama rocks the rim. Odi Aguama hammers it home and delivers Wake the lead. Inside, Bacot. That drops. Immediate answer from Armando Bacot as the officials whistle a flop warning issued to Odi Aguama.
And they read my mind. I like the no call again. They're warning him, do not flop. Obviously, Bacot did not apply that much pressure for him to fall over like that. Refs right on top of it, and I liked it. Not a lot of discussion. Knock it off, play heads up, and then next time you're going to get a 10.
Williamson working on Bacot. Aguama with 5 to shoot. Backs in on Brooks. Left-handed, no good. Love darts in, draws the contact, it'll head to the line for 2. Caleb Love has been a lot more aggressive in this game, particularly on the drive.
Right here, again, excellent defense by Wake. And, you know, going back to their Virginia Tech game where they lost by 4, they battled, but they beat Virginia Tech in a turnover game. They had 17 points off of turnovers against Virginia Tech. So, again, they continue to try to create some offense with their defense. Tenth
lead change comes from the foul line. Carolina up by 1. Deep three from Jonah Antonio. Can't knock it down. Here's Leaky Black. He was a great pass, and Leaky Black did the rest.
Textbook Carolina fast break. Excellent block out by Bacot. Again, he does not get the rebound, but keeping Wake off the offensive glass, and then ball barely touched the floor. Head up, pass it up. That's how you run the fast break.
Williamson, he's had the hot hand. Step back three. Can't connect on that one. Right back to Bacot, muscling his way to the rim. Count it, plus the foul. Largest lead of the night for Carolina, and Armando Bacot has one more coming.
Oh, this right here, grown man move. Okay, I have the size advantage. I'm going to take the hit. Body control, eyes on the rim, and remember, in the first half, they were unable to convert some of those paint touches that time, going strong and then finishing with the soft touch.
One shot, here it is. You're in, sir, you're in. One shot.
And Jay, back to the really last 2 minutes for Wake. Remember, in the first half, they were getting higher percentage shots. I feel like North Carolina has picked up. I like the adjustment by Roy Williams, picking up full and then trying to force them into some contested shots.
It's an 8-0 run for Roy Williams' team. And in the second half, the Tar Heels are outscoring the Demon Deacons 10-2. Wilkins lost it, trapped in the corner in a double team. And right now, North Carolina on a second half surge, getting it done in transition. Largest lead of the game, 6 for Carolina. Carolina on a 10-2 run to start this second half, and you look at Wake Forest. Steve Forbes, the first-year head coach, told Malcolm Huckabee and I that you got to play a full 40 minutes to win in the ACC. He joked that he's petitioned the league to make the games 32 minutes, and then he wouldn't have 5 straight losses, but they are 40 minutes, and you look at the last 4 minutes for Wake Forest, and it's a microcosm at what has cost them those 5 losses, that they can play really well for 20 minutes, but then they come out flat for 4, and just like that, they're down by 6.
Yeah, and obviously that schedule did them no favors at the time. All those teams, the previous 4, were in the top 25, and you throw in Georgia Tech, and now you come on the road to North Carolina. But the one thing that he is positive about, his guys have continued to battle, and look, they were right there in a lot of those games, and certainly some encouraging news for Steve Forbes and his staff.
They're lost track of the shot clock, though. Another self-inflicted wound for this Wake Forest offense. Carolina has continued to capitalize on the slow offensive start for Wake in this second half. Inside, Dayron Sharp battling in the post, and he draws the foul. Freshman will head to the line for 2.
And Jay, right here, this young fella is physically ready as a freshman to play in the ACC. Again, that is really great strength, but I'm going back to the patience and the read for North Carolina as Sharp knocks down a free throw. Look, they're not settling for jumpers. Again, they know they have a size advantage with Wake. They picked up the tempo defensively, but then offensively, they haven't gotten away from, look, we still have to get some paint touches for our bigs.
Tuesday, Tar Heels traveling to Pittsburgh. They're playing a red-hot Panthers team. How about Justin Champagnie last night? A big win against Duke. This Pitt team is for real. You can watch him in action next week, Tuesday, against this Tar Heels team. Look at Champagnie's night. 31 points, a career high, and it comes against Duke in what is a statement win for Coach Capel.
And you knew he was going to be very good last year, all the physical tools, but certainly this year he's going to be a guy that continues to be a name called in the ACC. Look at that efficiency right there, 12 of 15, double-double, 14 boards to go along with 31.
And that Pitt team beat Duke. And take a look at the AP poll this week. No Duke or North Carolina in the top 25 for the first time since 1982. More than 700 straight polls with either Duke or North Carolina in the top 25, and that came to an end this week.
And it's a little deceptive. Again, a lot of people want to beat up on these teams, but look, they both have young teams. And when you have young teams that have really no practice time, you're not having as much of a consistent schedule, you're going to have some growing pains. Make no mistake about it, though, they have a talented group. They just need more reps. Again, with all the disruptions, Roy Williams talked about it, it's showing in their play.
Count the three plus the foul. Could be a 4-point play for Isaiah Mucius. Exactly what Wake Forest needed to halt a 12-0 Carolina run.
And he continues to play great. Had 10 points in that Virginia Tech game. Was great on the offensive glass. And that right there, poor closeout by Brooks. And Mucius unable to complete the 4-point play. But that's a big three for Wake Forest.
Tar Heels got out to a 12-0 run. Wake Forest shooting just 1 of 10 from the field in the second half before that Mucius three. How do the Demon Deacons continue to claw back in this game, Malcolm?
Exactly this right here. Excellent ball movement and get swings. Again, defensively, that last possession, Caleb Love, again, not a good read. No ball swings, quick shot, and then Wake comes down. Excellent ball movement, and they get a wide open three.
Back-to-back threes for Mucius. He's up to 4 triples on the night. Grabs that rebound there. He's been really good tonight. He's played tough at the post defensively, made threes on the offensive end. Here he is with it now. Lost the handle there, though. Carolina can run. It's a 3-on-1. And that ends a 6-0 Demon Deacons run. Williamson goes into the trees, kick out. Mucius again. Isaiah Mucius, red hot, buries his 5th three of the night.
And that's, again, another poor closeout. The guy just hit a three. You got to close out higher, make him put the ball on the floor if you're North Carolina. And Roy Williams
up to 17 points.
And you can hear Roy Williams screaming, get out on him. Again, right there, you don't need the help. That's a poor closeout. The guy just hit one in the corner. And again, you have to be aware of your personnel out on the court. You see it starting to heat up from beyond the arc. You can't give him any airspace.
He's got the last 9 points for the Demon Deacons as it's back to a 1-possession game. Here's Anthony Harris back into the game. Nice feed inside. Brooks couldn't make the bucket, but he'll get 2 at the line.
2 freshmen making a heads-up play. Love to Dayron Sharp, and that's a beautiful post-entry pass that time from the top of the key. Again, you can see these guys maturing, getting better with more reps, making the right reads. And that's what you want to see if you're Roy Williams. That time, your 2 freshmen making the right reads in the half court.
Tomorrow night, we've got a great women's basketball doubleheader. Miami in Pittsburgh tips things off at 6 o'clock, and then Georgia Tech and Wake Forest finishes the doubleheader 8 o'clock Eastern time right here on the ACC network. That is tomorrow. And Brooks gets both from the foul line. Roy Williams continues to rotate his talented front court. You've got Bacot, Brooks, Sharp, Walker Kessler gets some burn as well. Roy Williams, still 13 games into this season, still trying to figure out what his best five is as he turns up some full court pressure on Wake.
Well, I can tell you right now, their best defense has been when they decided to pick up full, and they've been able to disrupt this Wake Forest offense.
The full court pressure forces it. R.J. Davis off the steal from Anthony Harris, turning defense into offense. That's exactly why the Hall of Famer turned up the pressure.
Again, the end game adjustments, you're absolutely right, Jay. That was the key turning point in this game for Roy Williams and North Carolina. If you're Wake, you have to do a better job not turning the ball over. Again, that's how they've created a lot of their offense, North Carolina. They sped you up, they've turned you over, and then they're getting out in transition.
$14 turnovers for the Demon Deacons. Williamson attacking the rack, blocked by Davis. It rolls out of bounds, and that takes us to our media timeout. Carolina outscoring the Demon Deacons by 9 this half. Isaiah Mucius trying to keep Wake in it, trailing by 7 midway through the second half. Forced to the finish line here in Chapel Hill. If you're not one of the two juniors, you've combined to shoot 4 of 23, only 13 points. Wake Forest with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Mucius has the heat. He hits it. Isaiah Mucius buries his 6th three-pointer of the night with the shot clock sounding. Bacot, an immediate answer in the post.
And North Carolina continues to show great patience. They've only taken 8 threes in this game, Jay, and that's a good job of them following the game script that they want, which is continue to pound the ball in the post.
Williamson a 3. He knocks it down. Well, there's your story. Mucius and Williamson back-to-back threes. Those have been the two guys carrying Wake Forest. Just like that, it's a one-possession game again, thanks to the two juniors, Daivien Williamson and Isaiah Mucius, a combined 37 of Wake Forest 50. Here's Williamson, 7 seconds to shoot. Step back 3 for the tie. Can't connect, offensive rebound. Guess who? It's Mucius. He can't put it in. Aguama pulls down another board. Wake Forest has dominated the glass tonight. Offensive rebounds for the Demon Deacons. Johnson a 3. It's good, and Wake is clawed back from down 10 to tie it at 53.
Jay, it's not how many threes they've made, it's how open they have been. That time, dribble drive, the help is late, and another uncontested 3 for Wake.
Bacot counted, plus the foul. Armando Bacot, the answer.
Well, containing dribble drives, again, right here, you make the North Carolina D help, and that's just an uncontested 3 off of a dribble drive kick. That's just too easy. They have to do a better job containing ball penetration and then getting out on shooters. On the other end, Wake has to do a couple things. Obviously, their post defense has to be better, but really, North Carolina has capitalized off their turnovers. Right now, Jay, North Carolina 17 points off of turnovers.
Wake has made 6 of their last 7 threes. And right now, trailing Carolina by 2. Demon Deacons haven't won in Chapel Hill in 11 years. Five seconds to shoot. Jacoby Neath lost the handle, and it's Tar Heel basketball.
Well, that's excellent individual D that time. I believe it was Love, and that's really been the one negative for Wake Forest. When they've gotten into their half-court sets, they've gotten some high-quality looks. They just need to cut down on the turnovers.
Finish that, J-Rod. You got it, Clarence. You got it. Here we go.
Foul called underneath.
Go the other way.
They call it against Armando Bacot. So how about North Carolina, a team that leads the country in offensive rebounds per game, getting out-rebounded by Wake Forest 31-26. And that's 4 fouls on Armando Bacot. He heads to the bench with 9 minutes to go in this game. Just 6 minutes ago, Carolina led by 10. That lead is down to 2. Williamson lost the handle. Great hands from Carolina. Now can they cash in? And Davis is fouled.
Another opportunity off of a turnover. Again, this is just a great recovery to poke the ball away and then off to the races before that Wake D can get set up. And Jay, that has been the one area that has kept North Carolina on top, the adjustment picking up full. Wake has been really careless with the ball when they've had that extended North Carolina D.
RJ Davis missed it. The officials blew the play dead. Day'Ron Sharp called for a foul. That's now 2 fouls going for offensive rebounds. The first called against Bacot, the second against Sharp in the last minute. And remember, Bacot's on the bench with 4 fouls. Full court pressure. Half court heave to Antonio. Mucius steps into a 3. Can't connect.
Another nice block out that time by Sharp.
And then on the offensive end, Sharp can't knock it down. Still a 1-possession game. Backdoor feed to Johnson. He tried to kick it out. RJ Davis intercepted it. Up ahead to Leaky Black. Right back to Davis. Pull up pop is short. Follows his own shot. And that time the ACC Freshman of the Week, RJ Davis, puts it home. Foul called on the floor. We stepped aside. Carolina leading by 5. We've got a fun finish coming on the ACC network. Ed hot, and he's kept the Demon Deacons in it.
And a lot of them, Jay, have been poor closeouts by North Carolina, that time off of a loose ball situation. But again, they have to do a better job identifying the shooters for Wake, in particular Mucius, who has heated up in the second half.
On the bench right now, Mucius, the only Wake Forest player to start all of the Demon Deacons games this season. The junior has been a constant, but the sharp shooting has eluded him. Again, only 4 of 24 from deep coming into the night, and yet he has hit 6 tonight. Wake Forest down 4. How will they play with Mucius on the bench is the question. He's been good in the post on defense as well. They missed him there. Garrison Brooks took advantage of the mismatch against Ismail Massoud.
And that's the matchup they need to go to. Brooks made a move. The double was almost there before he caught it, but he spun away from it. And that's a big bucket for North Carolina to give them a little breathing room.
Oklahoma calling for it in the post. Brooks handling the sophomore. Backing him down, lefty hook shot, no good.
That's just great post defense by Brooks, not giving up much ground, and then contest the shot.
Look out, Dayron Sharp was winding back to throw that one down, but lost the handle. Williamson, kick out three, Jalen Johnson hits it. The transfer from Tennessee buries a big-time three, cuts the lead in half. Timeout taken, and we'll step aside with it.
Be the key coming down to the end of this game right now. Can North Carolina adjust, get out, and keep Williamson in particular out of the lane, and then get a hand up on Mucius on the other end? Wake, they're going to have to adjust how they're defending the post because North Carolina continues to pound the ball in the paint.
Step back three, Caleb Love leaves it short. Offensive rebound, blocked away. Shot clock did reset for Carolina. Foul called on the floor. Well, Friday, 8 Eastern time, we've got our next edition of Bald Men Not on Campus. Jay Billis, LaFonso Ellis, Seth Greenberg tell you what you need to know. Coming up on the ACC week slate of games, and it's a good slate only on the ACC network and the ESPN app. Carolina already in the bonus. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good.
And this is where Roy Williams wants to see Caleb Love make progress. End of game situations. Now in the first half he had 2 turnovers. In the second he has no turnovers. But the decision making to close this game out, I think that's going to be key for North Carolina.
The freshman's got 13 for the Tar Heels tonight. Roy Williams preaching more consistent play from his young guards. Williamson, great drive, kick out three. Johnson rolls in and out, no good.
And that's a break for North Carolina right there. Again, another uncontested look.
Williamson right down the lane again, lays it up and in. Scoop to the hoop for Daivien Williamson. Great response from Leaky Black. Drills the mid-range jumper to make it a 2-possession game.
And Jay, that's huge because right now Wake Forest is not even playing him. So if they're not going to play him, he needs to step in every time like that and make that mid-range jumper to try to loosen up that defense because they're just doubling down low in the post and daring him to shoot.
Double team on Mucius. Ill-advised shot, no good. He and Williamson have combined for 40 of Wake Forest's 59. Love muscling his way to the rim, follows his own shot, count it, plus the foul. Caleb Love, all heart right there on his way to the rim.
That's just great work off of his own miss. Again, a lot of contact, no foul. Go get your own putback, and that is tough finish for the freshman.
Love now leads Carolina in scoring with 15. These are the flashes from this talented freshman class that gives Roy Williams so much hope. He just wants to see it on a more consistent basis.
See how Wake handles the pressure. This has been problematic for them.
Didn't handle it well there. Bacot hammers it home, and the North Carolina lead is back to 10.
Well, right now, North Carolina's face guarding. That's what they need to do more of. Bring a big up to try to relieve some pressure. Nice job by Love denying the ball to Williamson.
Seven 0 Tar Heels run in the last 60 seconds.
Look at this right here. A hustle, effort, and an unselfish play by Leaky Black. And Bacot with the finish. And to close this game out, if Wake wants to get back into this one, they got to do a better job handling the full court pressure. you got to get a home run play going, try to get a big coming up, and then try to see if you can run somebody long, because the guards have been face guarding for North Carolina, so you're not going to get anything going back towards the basket. See if you can beat them over the top.
Demon Deacons craving a stop. Love's been the go-to guy as of late, and a foul called on Jonah Antonio. Tar Heels enter the double bonus, so 2 coming from the line.
Well, Jay, for as good as Wake Forest has played at times in this game, Steve Forbes talked about the turnovers and how he was concerned about that. And right now in this game, North Carolina has 22 points off of turnovers, and that really sums up the second half for them. When they've gotten in the half court, they've gotten some good looks, but when they've turned it over, North Carolina's done a nice job capitalizing and turning those turnovers into points.
A foul called on Garrison Brooks, who was reaching for that offensive rebound. That says it all from the Hall of Famer.
He's adding to the gray hairs of wisdom on his head, and obviously that's not a smart play. Again, you got to understand time, possession, no need. You like the aggressive nature trying to get an offensive rebound, but you can ill afford to foul, put Wake Forest on the free throw line with no ticks going off.
Mucius gets both from the line. It's a 7-point lead for Carolina. Demon Deacons had tied this game at 53 in search of their first win at Chapel Hill in 11 years. They're not going down easy. 4 minutes to play. Tar Heels go inside. They've dominated the post tonight, and it continues with Armando Bacot. 17 points for the sophomore, who's playing very confidently with 4 fouls right now. Williamson triggers a 3 off the mark. And a foul called on the rebound. Now, since this game was tied at 53, Carolina has used a second half surge, turning defense into offense. Armando Bacot. The first-year head coach Steve Forbes told us that if games were 32 minutes long instead of 40, Wake Forest wouldn't be 0-5 in the ACC. And, well, this game has followed a familiar script. You credit the Demon Deacons. They have fought hard against a talented Tar Heel team on the road, but still lacking the ability to put it together for a full 40 minutes in ACC play.
Yeah, really, I think the turnovers really is the story of the game for this Wake Forest team. It almost sounds like I could just press a recorder, but that really has been the Achilles heel for them in this one. And then Roy Williams, credit in particular Love. Their guards have done a nice job in the second half, sticking to the game plan. Go off of turnovers, but they continue to try to find their bigs down low, in particular Bacot.
And the ACC Freshman of the Week, RJ Davis, into double figures as well. It's the largest lead of the game for Carolina, 73-62, an 11-point lead. It's got to feel good for Carolina fans to be leading by double digits, at least right now. Although Isaiah Mucius, as I say it, watch out. That's his 7th made 3 of the night. He had come in shooting 4 of 24 from deep. Immediate answer, RJ Davis knocks it down.
Well, his jab step is really impressive. That's just a nice little jab, come off a little screen, brush screen, and then right into your pull-up jumper.
And Wake Forest throws it away. How about the night Isaiah Mucius has had?
Yeah, and right here, again, the double team, you make a poor read, and again, you can't give that guy a wide open 3. He's going to continue to hurt you if you leave him open from beyond the arc.
It's a career high 25 points for the junior on a career high 7 threes. Now remember, Carolina, in all 6 of their ACC games, they've been decided by 7 points or less. Right now leading by 10. And Carolina fans have no nails left to bite. So they need a comfortable one down the stretch. That'll help. Watch out. Big finish. Caleb Love to put the Tar Heels up 12.
If you want to teach fast break basketball off of a turnover, run that play right there. Give, go, give it back. Unselfish play. Ball never touched the floor.
Caleb Love has come alive in this second half. Take another look at this.
And this is just unselfish right here. Poor post-entry pass. Once it got over half court, ball never touched the floor. If you're a young player, that's how you run it right there. Unselfish. And then Caleb Love showing off the hops. And he's been impressive throughout this game. Obviously, we know he can score, excels in the open court, but his decision-making, Jay, and in particular, though, the defensive end and the pressure that he's put on the Wake guards, I think has been key in this second half.
Again, breaking the press and hammering it home. Guess who? Caleb Love up to 20 on the night.
You can hear Steve Forbes saying, finish the game correctly. But that's excellent press offense, and Caleb Love again with another flush off the excellent ball movement after breaking the pressure.
It is a career high 20 points for the freshman Caleb Love. You read the Tar Heel blogs, you talk to Roy Williams, it's the same answer. We need consistent guard play. Well, tonight it showed up in the form of Caleb Love and R.J. Davis. Those two have been terrific in this second half. Wake Forest has battled all night long. Career highs from both Isaiah Mucius and Daivien Williamson. They've combined for 50, 25 each. %72% of the Demon Deacons' points came from those two guys. Mucius 7 threes, and yet looks like it won't be enough, although Mucius still fighting. Steve Forbes takes a timeout. 66 seconds to play. But he has brought a belief to this program, and they have battled every single second of this game. It might fall short, down 8 with 66 seconds to go, but you cannot doubt the passion and the heart that the Demon Deacons brought to Chapel Hill tonight. And Armando Bacot is fouled with 1 minute exactly remaining.
And you can see the strategy right now. Wake Forest, they did a nice job getting the ball out of Love's hand, an excellent free throw shooter, and put it in Bacot's hand, and came into this game shooting 67% from the free throw line.
Down 9, Demon Deacons have to hurry. Williamson and Mucius are the two hot hands. Here's Williamson on the drive. Kick out Mucius for his 8th made 3. That one goes begging. Love's first mistake all night. A double dribble with 28 seconds left.
And just when I was ready to sing his praises on the lack of turnovers in the second half, got a little careless with the ball.
And he's still our Zaxby's player of the game. We'll forgive the freshman a career-high 20 points to lead the Tar Heels. If this North Carolina team's going to do something in the ACC, it all stems from this young, inexperienced freshman backcourt playing like they did tonight.
Well, I think two things. Obviously, the 20 points, yes, that's impressive. That's the second time a Carolina player this season has scored 20 points. Pull-up game, but I think this was the key for me right here. His defensive pressure in the second half changed this game. He was able to get out and transition off the turnovers that he created with his pressure, and he was able to show off his hops. And to me, Jay, I think to go along with the decision-making in the second half. Again, first half, he had 2 turnovers. He settled down, made some really good reads, and didn't turn the ball over in the second half. I think that was the key, and the key reason why they're up 7 right now with 21 seconds.
You're right, Malcolm. It's not just the 20 points. You consider the 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He's filled out the box score tonight and put together a consistent game in the backcourt for Carolina.
And that's the stat line that Roy Williams wants to see from this talented guard that he has. Again, you don't want to take away his aggressive nature, driving the ball to the hole, trying to put pressure. But I think at times he controlled the pace, made the right reads, and got his bigs touches, in particular Bacot, in the second half.
Wake Forest has elected not to foul. The shot clock is off, so North Carolina will hold off a valiant effort from Wake Forest. Hangs on to win it 80-73. Roy Williams now 7 straight ACC games that have been decided by 7 points or less. That is the first time in North Carolina's storied program's history that has happened.
Yeah, and I think, you know, look, he's a Hall of Fame coach, Roy Williams. The adjustment, Jay, in the second half to pick up full, pressure the guards of Wake Forest.